Good morning, everybody. I'm your host, Big Red, aka Andy Malafrino. What is good? What is good? Check. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Turn it up. I need a new mixer. I've used the same H6 Zoom H6 since I was a young boy, and God, dude, I think my computer's like done. I know I say this every goddamn fucking week, but I think it's done. Please donate. Twitch.tv/Andy Malafrina. If you're feeling nasty, give me your goddamn money. Give it to me. Give it to me right now. I'm the only honest person in this fucking world. I'm the only honest person in this fucking world that fucking loves you. No one else is going to love you the way I love you, to give it to you straight. To give it to you straight and sometimes gay. I'll give it to you straight and sometimes I'll give it to you gay as shit. What's good, Dunbar? Dude, what? I think my mouse is dying. What kind of batteries does this use? Why is there so much hair in this? Let me go, yeah, I legit think this mouse is dying. Wait. God damn it. God damn it. You got Dunbar in the chat. Dunbar number 1. Dunbar with the yo. First in his name, first in the chat. We got Runaway Slav. Runaway Val's too, is I believe Slav's brother. Slav got banned for just flying too close to the sun. Yes, a nice break from movies at work. Thank you, Sidewalk Toes. I love you, buddy. I haven't seen you in a minute. I have not been out and about as much as I should be. I apologize. I have to park cars and I hate the world, but I do miss the people. I got to tell you, I hate a lot of stuff in this world. I hate a lot of stuff about comedy, about podcasting. It's not a fair world we live in, and I don't want to give into the darkness. I think that's my biggest problem. You know, I think here's what it is. A lot more successful people have sort of accepted the realities of life, and I will not. I live my life viewing a better world that could be. I don't want to accept the shit world we have. I want to find a better world that could be, and I view it in my head, and I strive for it. But the problem is no one else strives for it. No one else wants to strive for it. But I do here at Big Red in the Morning. Pat's not here, so it's Big Red in the Morning. Pat is off today. They called him back into the loose asshole factory. They said the new trainees, they don't know how to be as loose. So they said, Pat, we got to get those loose cheeks in here. And he said, I'll be right there, boss. I'll be right there, boss. Just fucking farts falling out of him. You know what I mean? That's how loose this is. That's how serious Pat takes the fucking job. That's how serious Pat takes the fucking job. He's running. They just fall out of him. There's no friction whatsoever. It's just a fucking cavern, and they fucking fall out. That's how fucking serious Pat takes his shits. They just be falling out of there. All right, is this going good? Guys, I need you to like my fucking new Instagram post. It's important. It's important to my success. It's important to my success that you like my new Instagram post. King of AIDS. Thank you. Pat has AIDS. It's important to my long-term success. It's important. These are much different when Pat's not here. I like them. I don't know. Better's not the right word, but I like it. I like the mix. It makes me feel like a performance artist. It makes me feel like I can bob and weave. I don't know. I don't like starting. I feel like I'm better at it's better to enjoy me in the live experience. You know what I mean? You know how like wrestling, you watch that shit live? You watch that shit live and then you or if you don't watch it live and then you hear about what happened on wrestling and that happened the next day, it just doesn't hit the same. That's me. That's why I'm so successful at live streaming, but not podcasting. Now, we got some stuff to talk about today. You know what it is? I like to wait till you guys get here. I like to ease into the day. You know how it fucking works. So if you're listening in the future on iTunes, on Spotify, kill yourself. No, you can't say that to people. You can't fucking say that to people. But no, yeah, come in on twitch.tv/Andy Malfrina, youtube.com/drag the lake 732. It's a good fucking time. It's a good fucking time. I'm always a bigger fan of the live show. I gotta be honest, I think that's where I shine. So it's like I put all this stuff online. I don't know. Part of me wants to just never. There is a part of me though that would be like, I should just like never repost it. But then, you know, there's 30 guys every week that listen to the podcast, so I want to look out for them. But anyway, what are we talking about today? What are we talking about today? I'm getting mad about Somalians. I got to be honest. Big Red got himself big worked up over Somalians, dude. Because I got to be honest, man. And you know what? Here's the thing. It's like, I'm weirdly like not even mad at them. And it's not on some like fucking, because there is a bunch of shit with this Somali stuff. There is a bunch of shit with this Somali stuff where like Tim Walz, that dude, I don't know, man. I really wish it wasn't like, I really wish you could just like, I would never, but for other people, I just really I really wish. Oh shit! Sorry, I want to. Hey, wait. Sorry, I just want to stir the pot real quick. No, I'm not gonna do that. Never mind. I saw something. I just wanted to stir the pot. Nothing is gonna happen, and that's half the reason why I'm spazzing so hard about this. The Somali shit got me triggered. The Somali shit got me triggered. Can really feel Andy sent live. I don't. What do you mean by that? Are you being mean to me, King Pindar? Are you being mean to Andy? That's crazy. It's like the first. It's. I mean, it's not even a rule. It's just a philosophical. Why would you be mean to me? No one understands it. How's the stream looking? Is the stream looking good? It's really a live thing, guys. You got to get in on the live fucking stream, or else it's not the fucking same. The Somali thing happens when you choose not to be racist. Well, like, so like you're right. I don't know, like you're right in the way. I don't know if you're right because you're right or you're right because you stumbled upon being right. But that's always like guys like Slav are always right for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? Like Slav's right all the time on Israel, but like not always for the right reasons. And I think you guys understand what I mean. But no, like the Somali thing, I feel like, and I don't want to chalk it all up to like faggy liberals, because it is like, what am I trying to say? There's bigger forces in the world moving chess pieces. Like there's bigger forces moving chess pieces on a board that just I feel have more going on than just, well, liberals in big cities don't want to seem racist. But it's not part of it. Like it's definitely, I don't know if it's a huge chunk or a small chunk, but you do get those clips of like Tim Walz. He's just talking about like, well, I'm just worried about how it's going to be perceived, or not even Tim Walz per se. Because I'll be honest, I watched that one. People were the beginning of it is bad because he just out the gate just goes like, dude, it was hilarious. It's actually the clip is funny. It's weird. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it is funny because I'm thinking about it right now. Yeah, is it this one? No, I want the full one of Tim Walz. Also, I've been learning more about this guy. I just thought he was like the doofus. I thought Tim Walz was just like the fucking doofus that They were like, who's a non-threatening cuck that we can put with Kamala Harris that like we need someone that can make Kamala Harris not look like the dumbest fucking person on the board. You know what I mean? Throw Tim Walz in there. He can make Kamala Harris not look like the stupidest person in the room. Like that was his vibe. He's got like the most embarrassing uncle energy to him. Is it this one? Yeah, I think this was one of. No, he had one where he was like blaming white. He was like white, like he essentially hit the whole. You know how like conservatives will do it. They'll be like, "What about black on black crime?" Like he literally was like, "What about white on white?" Like it was in essence like, "What about white on white crime?" And you're like, "You guys you're hitting that one." Like you you know what I mean? It's I guess for me it's like that it's like the lack of shame that they have where it's like but bro just hit it was something like that. I got to find the clip. It's a solo show today. We're doing a slow walk.
This is what happens when your own federal government wages war against you. This is what happens when they target communities for their own benefit. This is what happens when they scapegoat. And this is what happens when they no longer hide the idea of white supremacy when you hear the Vice President of the United States talk about now white people won't have to apologize for being white. So I would fully expect, and we are preparing for, an influx of more agents.
Yeah, like this isn't the clip I was thinking of, but he's like making it he's like making it racial and shit like that, and it's just like, brother, I don't give a fuck who it is. I don't give a fuck what your goddamn skin tone. Like, it doesn't matter that it's these eggplant headed Somali people. Is that racist? That might be racist. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Somalis. I'm sorry for noticing all of your heads are shaped weird. And also, you know what? Somalis, you don't get to lump yourself into American blacks. No. Somalis do not get to lump themselves in with American blacks. American blacks earned it way cooler. No, calm the fuck down. Calm the fuck down. No. Stop that. I remember Nate was talking about that on the podcast too. Where he's like, he's like, no, we trust us. We like the American black people. You know what I mean? This is all coming off racist. I'm not meaning it to be racist because, like, legitimately, what up, Derek? How you doing? Legitimately, Somalis have to, yeah, dude. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but like every Somali I see has like a weird head. But whatever. Sorry, I'm getting a text message. It's so fucking funny. Sorry. Sorry, very funny things are happening in the group chat. Anyway. Sorry, my apologies. Group chat is very distracting. So what was I saying? Let me restart this Tim Walz clip. God damn it. I apologize, guys. That was unprofessional of me. The group chat is cooking. The group chat is cooking. Let's back this up.
This is what happens when your own federal government wages war against you. This is what happens when they target communities for their own benefit. This is what happens when they scapegoat. And this is what happens when they no longer hide the idea of white supremacy when you hear the Vice President of the United States talk about now white people won't have to apologize for being white. So I would fully expect, and we are preparing for, an influx of more agents, more of the very visible public theatrics of the raids, of the harassments. And you got faith leaders here. I would not put it past this administration to target midnight mass services amongst folks going to worship, because that's who they are.
Now, many Minnesotans are heading to church services to celebrate Christmas, but this.
Hell yeah. Anyway. God damn it. I apologize. I let the. Here, wait, real quick. Sorry.
Well, there's fresh outrage over allegations of widespread fraud of taxpayer dollars in the state of Minnesota. A viral video appears to expose that alleged fraud at several Somali-operated child care centers in Minneapolis. And the independent journalist who published that video, which now has over 100 million views, tells Fox News the scam is extensive.
I've known about the fraud taking place for a long time. Minnesotans have been telling me for a long time about the Somali fraud that is taking place. And that's just the tip. When people say it's the tip of the iceberg, it really is, because there's billions of fraud inside the state of Minnesota right now.
And Garrett Tenney is covering this story from our Midwest Bureau. Garrett, good morning to you.
Yeah, Bill, good morning. This is just the latest example of the kind of widespread fraud that whistleblowers say has been taking place in Minnesota for years. And elected officials from towns around the state all the way to Capitol Hill are demanding investigations now into child care centers like this one. Quality Learning Center in Minneapolis. You can see this child care center that has received millions of dollars in federal tax money over the past 6 years can't even spell learning right on its sign. And since May 22, this business has been investigated at least 13 times for more than 50 different violations by the Department of Human Services in Minnesota. The business is licensed for 99 kids, but when independent reporter Nick Shirley went by this month, the place appeared completely empty.
There's no one here right now. It's midday on a weekday, and if you were to try to go inside, it's completely closed. There's no windows, no nothing. And like I said, they literally spelt the word wrong on their sign. This is open and blatant fraud taking place here inside of Minnesota.
Shirley went to multiple child care centers and said he found similar setups where businesses that have received piles of taxpayer dollars were either closed or he couldn't see any children present. In response to that video that's now gone viral, Vice President J.D. Vance posted on X, "What's happening in Minnesota is a microcosm of the immigration fraud in our system. Politicians like it because they get power. Welfare cheats like it because they get rich. But it's a zero-sum game, and they are stealing both money and political power from Minnesotans." Senator Ron Johnson says this is now going to be a primary focus for congressional investigators.
These agency heads who funnel the federal money to the state agencies, they have to demand that the state agencies are transparent. And unfortunately, particularly in Democrat-controlled states, they're not. They're refusing to turn over those records. I've got subpoena power. I will use that subpoena power to obtain these records because we have to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is under fire for all of this happening under his watch, but he says he's now taking steps to investigate this fraud further. He claimed it's something they've already been looking into and that they are now setting up guardrails to keep it from happening again. Bill?
And Nick Shirley's video at 110 million views as of this morning. Viral is an understatement there. Safe to say plenty of public interest in this. Garrett Tenney live in Chicago for us this morning. Garrett, thank you. Molly?
Thank you, Bill. Minnesota Republican Congressman Tom Emmer is the House Majority Whip and here to comment on all of this. An incredible story here breaking. As Bill noted, this has gone viral. Nick Shirley's reporting. He got out there and he did, the old-fashioned legwork. He walked the walk, he asked questions, and he revealed some fascinating stuff. And as many people have said, potentially the tip of the iceberg here.
The tip of this dick. All right, my sincerest apologies, boys. The group chat's going wild. Hope it might. Honestly, it might. Dude, you get breaking news. Certain comedians you love take things very seriously. But yeah, it might come out. But anyway, yeah. Sorry. You might eventually. This might make its way to the fucking press. I don't know, dude. It's gonna be. I hope it does. God. I'll just say this. I you know what? I'll put it this way. The world's a boring place. And the way Lemaire just walks through it, playing it real fast and loose. God, I love it. I love him so much. He makes life worth living. Anyway. So yeah, these goddamn Somalis. No, So yeah, back to the original thing. It's not even like about it's not even about like the Somalis in particular. It's like, my guy, throw anyone in the mix. Throw anyone in the mix. You know what I mean? Like it's you put anyone in the goddamn mix on there. It's beyond infuriating. It's beyond fucking infuriating. God damn it, I can't focus. The group chat's going crazy. Anyway, this is such bad content for you guys. If this isn't the one that gets you, I completely get it. I completely get it. But no, what were we gonna say? What the fuck what was I gonna say? Yeah, it's like it's way more about the principle of the matter. If you're like, I guess for me, it's like, if you're gonna make it racial, you're an absolute fucking retard, because there's not even like an inch of like, I'm trying to think of a certain topic. I'm trying to think of certain topics where it's like they do kind of like make it racial, and you can kind of see, you're like, yeah, but is that really like the main thing going on here? You know what I mean? Like, there could be like, I can't think of a specific one. There's not a specific one that like comes to mind as I'm talking about it right now. But it's like, there's been those times where it's like, yeah, there could be a little bit of a racial thing, but the overarching point that they're making is sound, and it is kind of the bigger issue. It just maybe the certain flavor of, like, when people are getting mad about something, the style of anger that they have may be influenced by a certain racial bias, sure. But the overarching issue, again, I wish I had a specific, better example to just say right now, but the overarching issue, kind of cancels out the big racial thing, because that's not the focal point of it. With this, it's just like, brother, you give us the exact same situation, and you put in any other fucking group, and I'm still getting as fucking angry. You do this with Brazilians, with Chinese, with fucking Norwegians, with fucking anyone. I'm fucking pissed. So when I see Tim Walz doing his whole goddamn bullshit where he's essentially being like, what about, sometimes white guys do crimes. Okay. You fucking, god damn it. It's so hard not to say slurs. Or I should say homophobic slurs specifically. You know what I mean? It's so hard not to say them, but like, it's just infuriating. It's just, you dumb fuck. You dumb doughy doughboy retard fuck. The fact that you're gonna like throw it in that direction. What? Welcome back to another episode of Thumb Taps with Andy. What does that mean? I don't get it. Anyway, wait, show me single white. Oh, Derek. I was like, where's the rage bait? Wait, what's the thumb tap? I don't get the thumb taps joke. I'm a dumb idiot. That was when you were grouped. Oh, my apologies. Yeah, this is. Oh, no. I took the chat away, then I brought it back, and then I shouldn't have done that. No, this is all my fault. I'm very bad today. I'm streaming poorly today. This is all my fault. Anything bad is all my fault. But yeah, no, it's just like, it's you so like the whole fucking throwing out the fucking rate. You're like, also, hey Tim, what fucking year is it, you dumbass? What fuck? Like, we don't do that. We're not doing that shit anymore. You guys tried that 1,000 fucking times. We're not doing that shit anymore. Just immediately going like, just immediately it's just like, well, you have internal. No, we've talked about all those things. We've all realized it's all just fake and gay commie gobbledygook that's just used to fuck your head. You know what I mean? Like, that's really what all that stuff is. It's just stuff to like control your brain and get scared to like actually realize what's happening. You know what I mean? You know, you notice someone doing something and you want to criticize them regardless of race, and you're supposed to do, it's these they play these like mind games that are supposed to distract you from like the thing that's actually happening and hyper focus on very superficial aspects of the conversation and shit like that. St. Ivan first in the chat. Hell yeah. What is this? Pat was pissing me off yesterday with his hipster stance of, well, it doesn't look right for grown men to be outside asking for children to be shown. Yeah, fair. Regardless, it's clear as fucking day that there's fraud occurring. God damn it. It was enraging to me. Yeah, I was trying to say, I mean, it did annoy me a little bit. I wouldn't say it like enraged me like that, but you're justified, and you're what am I trying to say? Not justified, but you're entitled to your opinion. No, but that was the point I was trying to make, where it's like when I was bringing up the shit about like the news wasn't saying that shit, you know what I mean? It's like the news wasn't talking about that stuff, and so that's what, like, because that's what, like, I think a lot of times when people see this shit, like, I was thinking about that, because that did kind of, I was like, there's a bigger thing going on, you know what I mean? And it's the fucking, there's these Somalian daycares that each daycare is scamming the government for like $1 to $4 million every year. And so it's like, but a lot of times I think what happens is like you see these issues and you don't really see the solution, and you don't really understand the problem. And I'm not saying I understand it. I just want to say it broadly speaking. It's like the problem is complex and confusing, and you're like, why the fuck is this happening? And there's like bigger implications. And then I think people, when those things happen, and there's like, when it comes to the more complex aspects of it, people tend to focus on the things that they can very clearly critique and change and criticize and stuff like that. So, I think people just do that subconsciously, where they see the bigger issue and they kind of like, well, that's fucking crazy, and I don't know what the fuck's going on. So it's like that, like missing, what is it? What do they say? Missing the forest for the trees? Is that the expression? And it is the one thing where it's like, because I agreed with him. It's like the way that I watched the video, the way the guy went about it was sloppy, and it wasn't like the smartest way. And, that's not how I would prefer it to be done. But also you got to remember, no one else is fucking, like, that was the point I was trying to make, is like, no one else is fucking doing it. You know what I mean? Like, no one else is doing this story. So you're just like, if you want to rather than getting mad at the one YouTuber covering this, it's like, get mad at the journalist for like dropping the biggest ball in the fucking world. You know what I mean? Like, why, if you're annoyed at the optics or how the YouTuber went about it and stuff like that, it's like, well, then you should be way more mad. You're like, why is the New York Times or the Washington Post or any of these big time newspapers not doing it? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that sort of was my critique. I was trying to hit back at him, where I was just like, yeah, it is a little bit missing the forest for the trees. It's kind of like not the most important thing to focus on, because it's like the bigger issue is like, well, no, like, because that's the thing. It'll, you could like nitpick, like, oh, it's kind of weird that he's just, because, well, that's also too not giving the guy the benefit of the doubt, because it's like, if I'm giving the guy the benefit of the doubt, I'm assuming he's not just like, in the midst of being a pervy pedo and then being like, wait a minute, there's no kids actually here. And then he goes, it's like, I'm assuming he's like he's just a citizen of his community, and he's noticing something fucked up and he's getting to the bottom of it. Because that was like the other part of it too. And I view it from more of a standpoint of like, it's probably more of just a concerned citizen. But no, man, I think that's what happens, is because it's like, I don't blame people either for doing shit like that, because it's like, it's a result of like the world being crazy. You know what I mean? Like, that's I gotta be honest. I was kind of like joking with my wife about this before I started the stream, but it's like, dude, I gotta be straight up. Like, I like podcasting, I like doing stand-up comedy, but with like how much I've learned and I know now, like, and I might just be in a current like, shift, because it happens to me every so often. It happens to me every so often. I learn things and then I'm not ready for how much shit I learned, and I have to take time to process that and figure out how to like manage my stress with this kind of stuff, because it's a lot, dude. It's not fun. Learning shit isn't fun. Like, if you're trying to enjoy your life, don't learn shit. Now, if you're trying to make the world a better place, which I don't know how much I'm actually having an impact on the world, but I try to do that. That was the goal. You know what I mean? I wish the podcast was bigger and I had more of an influence, but like, that was the goal from the jump, as I was like, oh, shit sucks. I think I'm right about certain things. Let me talk shit and hopefully shit'll suck less. That was kind of like my goal and stuff. But no, I think I think also too, doing like stuff like that is a natural reaction of like everything being insane. And there's so many times, like every news story you get into, like, that's why, and I don't mean to just like pick on Slav every time, but that's why Slav always leans into very lazy, racist answers to questions, because the real answers are so complex and confusing and stressful. That's why it's like, I don't think you should be racist, but I'm never surprised when people are racist, because it's just, from a problem solving standpoint, it just makes life easier. Like, I don't know if that, I don't mean to, I'm not saying that to like, I don't want anyone to be racist, but whenever you see people being racist, you just go like, oh no, I get why people lean that way. Because like, actually, like, being a good person and being and processing the world properly is actually really fucking hard. And it's a lot to sort of put on yourself when it comes to like problem solving and decision making and having the right perspective on life. It's actually really fucking hard and complex. And it's like, it's why I just go, yeah, I understand why people are racist, because it just makes shit simpler. And then you have this predetermined narrative, and there's enough bad shit in the world that you can satisfy your predetermined, unnuanced perspective on things. You know what I mean? But going back to what I was saying earlier, because everything's so fucking crazy and complex, and even if you sit down and figure out like, oh, this is the solution, because I've hit that point with certain topics, I go, oh, this is all we have to do, or that's all we have to do. And then you got to go like, oh, now I have to change people's minds. And now I have to convince people. And I go, well, that fucking sucks. I'm a guy who likes to hang out and talk shit. I don't want to spend my time trying to just convince people. And then you start to realize like, oh, there's just some people that they've sort of like dug their heels in on what shit is. And you just go like, I'm never going to fucking change their mind ever. Like, no amount of information, even if a person who's 1,000 times smarter than me hits them with the right information, it's like, no, human beings exist with a narrative. Like, honestly, I think it's how a lot of people get through the fucking day. Human beings exist with a fucking narrative. And if you hack that away, you're the enemy. You're the problem. That's why it's like, again, not trying to fucking single you guys out all the time, but that's why it's like, any criticism I have of Nick Fuentes, and I'm just using this as an example. You guys are going to be gay and go like, oh, he's obsessed with him. No, I'm using it as a clear example. Every criticism I have of Nick Fuentes, you just haven't seen the right clip. It's always, oh, you thought something was bad? Well, that's out of context. It's because you had like people go into it with a predetermined narrative. And I'm not trying to attack you guys specifically, because obviously if you fuck with my stream, you're much more, I would assume, you're better at the nuance than others, but that's like it kind of goes hand in hand with what I'm saying, that's how, and you start to realize that's how most people live their fucking life. But then you mix that, you mix the craziness and the ambiguity of life. I get why sometimes people focus on the superficial shit, because the superficial shit has clear answers, and it is a clear answer. Dude, I love to zoom out and just go way too over explaining and deep on a fucking I'm really just into human behavior at the end of the day, I think. But because it's so intriguing. Because I know it's, you know what it is? I know why I am how I am. And the longer life allows me to live, the longer our beautiful Lord lets me live on this beautiful earth, I just learn how, like, I used to be like, yeah, there's probably a shitload of people like me. And then there's a lot of people who I can get along with, but it's like the older I was like, there's not a lot of people who are just like me. And I'm trying to appreciate that. I hated that for the longest time. I hated that, and I'm trying to appreciate it more. But then fuck, what was the point I was trying to make? I forgot. Oh yeah, so it's just I think the more I realize I'm on like people like me, there's a smaller island. And I don't say that to like cry. I'm not saying that in like a crying way. Like, I love the fact that there's so many people not like me. Cause I also too sometimes go like, I'm fucking boring and suck ass. That's why a lot of my friends aren't like me, because then they make my life like I was joking with Lemaire being a hot boy, being a hot dog, and you'll find out probably later what he was being a hot dog about. But like that, just I would never do the things Lemaire does half the time. But I love being in the vicinity of Lemaire because I get to watch that, and that is very entertaining to me. But yeah, there's just not. Sorry, I get very I feel very cringe because I'm not being like, bro, there's just no one fucking like. It's not like I don't say that as a brag. Like, if I met someone who was exactly like me, I'd be like, get your life together, dude. What the fuck? But anyway, that's why that's why I always go way deep on human behavior and why they do things and why, why they just why humans behave the way they do. Because I don't feel as connected to them sometimes. So I find I might be an alien. I think I find humans too fascinating. I might be an alien. But yeah, I think that's why people. Because it's like, I don't blame him because, if you're criticizing the style of that dude's video, you're not wrong. Like, keep it a buck. The way the kid, like honestly, they kept calling him investigative journalist. I don't 100% think that's fair, because he didn't, I think that title should be saved for a much more professionally done operation. But that's not like the sloppiness of his video, which is true. That's not the most important thing about the video. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like a side thing to crack jokes, which I think we were mainly doing. But like, that's a side thing to crack jokes. The main thing is like, oh, you can just be a Somalian in fucking Minnesota and say you have a daycare and you'll just get $4 million and the local government will never double check. That's the bigger issue. And then if you go like, hey man, that's fucked up. Everything in my life is more expensive. Everything in my life is more fucking expensive all the fucking time. And it just keeps going up and up and up and up. And we're on the verge of hyperinflation. And you're like, can we stop just giving random foreigners $1 million in grants every fucking year? Like, that's crazy, man. Like, just, you know what I mean? Like, that's not an insane thing to think. And it's not like some shit where it's like, oh, you're obsessed with race and you're all, it's like, that's just a thing anyone in a country should be allowed to think. You shouldn't have to deal with Tim fucking Walz being like, you're actually a racist. No, you're actually a fucking retard, dude. Like, Tim Walz is actually a dumb motherfucker. That's actually what's happening. It's not, it's like, dude, if that happened fucking anywhere, it's just because you have these fucking retards and they see like white person mad at not white person. That historically white people bad in that scenario. And you're like, nope, any fucking foreigner. And you know what? I want to try not to use buzzwords because I know that's when people's fucking brains shut off. But it's like legitimately any person from a different fucking country, they come in, they take advantage of our system and scam our system, and then they just get paid. Like, it's kind of, what's funny? It's kind of ironic because people would always bitch about like Indians. Like, you see it more in Canada because I think there's like way more Indian immigration into Canada, but like you'd see it here too. But like people would always bitch about like Indians coming to the country. They open up they start a gas station or like a Dunkin' Donuts, and then they just hire their family. And I got to be honest, like from their perspective, and you guys know how I feel. It's like, brother, I got to be honest. I've been thinking about it more. My bar is pretty fucking low. And I don't think it's like from a defeated nature. It's just because you guys know I'm not married to any fucking, it's like, I'm not obsessed with my race. I'm not obsessed with specific locations or whatever. I mean, I guess I'm obsessed with here because it's like I grew up here. I don't want to, like, I grew up in America, so I would like America to be America. But it's like, brother, just be fucking American and speak English. It's like, it's all I ask. You know what I mean? I think it's like the bare minimum to be like, hey man, you should speak the majority. Like, and I'm not even saying stop speaking your language. Just make sure you know English. Like, and be pro-American. And like, we're in a weird fucking place where that you're supposed to feel like a dickhead for feeling that way. And the reality is like, that's the bare minimum. Like, the bare minimum for any country is learn the language, be pro that country. Because why the fuck are you moving there? You know what I mean? I don't think the move should be, all right, so here's what you do. You move to America, you scam the government, and then you send all your money back to your home country. And, you're made to feel like being like, hey, I think that makes you a fucking asshole and a piece of shit. And like, you should probably get deported for that. You're supposed to feel like, oh, you're an asshole for that. It's like, nah, I think my thing's actually like the bare minimum. You know what I mean? I think my thing's like the bare minimum. So yeah, the whole, cause it's like, it's crazy. Like, and it would be, you do that to any American city, anywhere. You know what I mean? White ass Minnesota. You did that shit to a bunch of Chinese moved to black ass Atlanta. We're doing that to all the black kings and queens of Atlanta, all the kings on the DL in Atlanta. It'd be a goddamn travesty. Fuck you. That's our money. But it is, God damn it. Sorry. It's, you know what it was? Because there was nothing really like racial about it. And then just that Tim Walz clip made me so fucking mad. It made me so fucking mad. And it's not on some like racial shit, really, even though he made it racial. It's just like, like, it's one thing when we have these issues and they're highly debatable. And honestly, like, there's a lot of issues that are like very opinionated. And the argument is like, who has the better opinion? I'm trying to think. It's hard to pick one because I'm a gay ass libertarian. So, but no, it's like for real, even like, I don't know, man. Like, I think abortion is murder, but I also get both sides and I get why people feel like that's a much more opinionated thing. Although to me, it's like after you get to a certain amount of time, it's like pretty clear, in my opinion, that you're murdering something, but I'm not a fucking doctor, so I guess I don't have the medical degree to say that. But I mean, we've talked about this before. But like even, but here's the thing. I don't know when a baby becomes, like, when you would determine a baby. So I would debate like to me, 2 to 3 months feels way too late, but I would debate like, when does it be? And that's a fair debate to have because I've taken some time to look into it. It's very confusing and very boring. So I haven't spent enough, but it's like you look into those conversations and you're like, there's a debate to be had here. You know what I mean? And I think there are aspects of it that, are more of like, your opinion and preference, and you can't like specifically quantify that. You can't specifically quantify that and shit like that. And it's like important to sort of find a middle ground or something, I guess. You know what I mean? You know, maybe less so much with the abortion thing, because again, in my opinion, there's a certain point. But like if we're, you know, it's just hard for me again as a libertarian, because I was like, if we're talking about tax rates, and I go, well, it should be zero, you know, and then if you get taxes, they should be voluntary. You can't force, but you guys get what I'm saying, like, because I would take lower taxes over, like, if it was I'm not one of those dumbass libertarians who's just like, no taxes, or it's not, or I don't care. It's like, no, I'll take lower. If you guys got lower taxes, like, if you're not going to get rid of if it's not going to be zero taxes, like, I'll go for lower taxes. Also, if you actually provide good services to me and not make me pay more money every time I go to a government agency, or I'm funding cops trying to fucking nickel and dime me on parking infractions, bullshit like that, I'm also not going to get mad if you take some of my money. But you guys get what I'm saying. It's like, you could have a debate whether it's like, should we go this low or should we go higher on taxes? It's like, there's a debate to be had. Bringing it back to the Somali shit, though, I go, like, what's the fucking, like, people who are upset about this, what's the big fucking thing I'm missing, Tim Walls? You fucking moron. What's the big thing I'm missing? You know what I mean? Like, Mr. Racist finds out that Somalian people are setting up fake child care centers that don't have any children in them just so they can scam the government for a couple $1 million. Oh, what are you, too sensitive, Mr. Racist? Like, nah, man. Like, you're the governor of an American town, American city. You're the governor of an American city, American state. You're in America, Tim. Timmy. You're in America. And there's a bunch of people not from America who, you know, I got to be honest, if you behave this way in America, you know, if you just steal American people's tax dollars like that and then send them to a new country, I got to be honest, that's not very pro-American. That's not American start. I'm stealing that from Fuentes. It's not America first. It's America start. America begin. You know what I mean? That's not very America begin of you. Being a fat redheaded Fuentes real quick. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's not very fucking American. And your job as a public servant to the American people, Tim, is to do shit that benefits us. And it doesn't benefit us to scold us when we see Somalian people sending money back to their fucking home country. Like, what? Like, how am I the fucking asshole, Tim? Go fuck yourself, dude. Like, this shit's fucking, this is such a clear cut. Oh, we're dumb as shit. We let this happen. So, like, cut it the fuck off. It's not hard. You go, where are the fucking kids? And then you go, and then they go, there's no fucking kids. And then you go, give us the fucking money back. And you go, oh, you can't? Well, you get fucking deported, and we make sure they throw you in jail or some shit or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's not hard. It's not hard. It shouldn't be hard to not have, I don't know, man. Shit makes me so fucking mad. Shit makes me so mad. Because it's like, I grew up in a society where it's like, we got to be open-minded. Can't be racist. And I heard all that shit, and I said, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Because they're right. You shouldn't be racist. You know what I mean? Like, if you catch yourself just assuming something because of someone's skin tone, you should feel bad about that, because that's stupid and it's not right. You should criticize them because they're poor. We've talked about this. You should look at them and go, you don't have nice things, you poor little dirtbag. And that's how you should judge them. You go, your mommy and daddy didn't work hard like my mommy and daddy. That's how you get money. Hard work, nothing else. You're poor. It's your fault. Go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? But for real though, it's like, and then it was like, yo, you don't have to love religious people. You don't have to love gay people. You can't be so fucking mean to them. Like, knock it the fuck off. You know what I mean? And then you're like, and then it's like, yeah, immigrants, they're chill. They bring in like immigrants that want to come to America and be pro-American. That's chill as fuck. We're a melting pot. All of our differences, as long as we're going towards the same goal of like free market capitalism, we're a chill place and we can embrace our differences as long as we're on the way to the same goal. And I grow up hearing all these things. I go, all that shit rules. All that shit fucking rules. And then, I get into my 20s and like all it is just like my 20s and 30s now. And all it is just people taking advantage. They did it with the woke shit. If you criticized anyone that wasn't white, you're a fucking racist. And now everyone's surprised that everyone's so fucking racist online. It's like, yeah, because you guys called us racist for doing fucking nothing. You know what I mean? You called us racist for the littlest of shit. And now, you know how people are. Like, that's like people work way more off of spite and revenge than they do off doing the right fucking thing. So you had a bunch of people trying to do the right fucking thing. You called them racist the whole time. You know what I mean? And now they act like fucking fags on the internet all the time. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's just this shit over and over again. But now it's like, for the longest time, it just felt like ideological arguments on the internet. Now you're like legitimately have these news stories where it's like a bunch of fucking people from Somalia are just scamming the government. And it's like the most easy, obviously, yeah, that's bad. Obviously, that's a bad fucking thing. It's the easiest, and you just got Tim Walz. I know I'm really hyper focusing on this, the Tim Walz, but it's a big part of it. He apparently ran on, all this like fucking, like it was a childcare and daycare was a big thing, which I was listening to Dave talk about this on Part of the Problem. He made a really good point too, where it was like, I think Dave leans in and gets a little, well, because he's just embraced the whole like traditional family thing so much, which I think is good and great. But it's it's there's a lack of wiggle room at times when it comes to his opinions on how you should live your life. But he's a successful comedian with 2 kids, so I get why he talks very confidently on that. But he's not wrong. Like, he's not wrong about the childcare shit. You know what I mean? Like, obviously money's tight for a lot of people and it's not that simple, but like the goal should not be, oh, I just had this kid, let me give him up to some this sounds so racist. I don't mean it, like, I know how it sounds. I don't mean it to be racist. You know what I mean? But it's just like, I mean, honestly, it would be I feel the same. Maybe not. I'd probably let some Japanese people watch my kid. But you guys know what I mean. And like, honestly, a lot, like, even the best Japanese person, it's still not, I feel like it's still not the same as if you just were around your parents the whole time. So that's the part I do agree with a lot with Dave, where it's just like this thing of like the government's just encouraging you, like, oh, is your kid at the most formidable years? You should leave them for 6 hours every day or however long daycare lasts. You know what I mean? You should just leave them for 6 to 8 hours every day. Honestly, probably like, it's actually probably closer to like 9 hours a day if you consider like when they get dropped off and then they leave, like they go to work for probably 8+ hours and then they have to drive through traffic to go back to daycare. Just the concept in general of just like, yep, your kid's really young and he and she's in his formable years. You should just like not be around this kid now for 9 hours every day. You know what I mean? And obviously, it's not that easy for a lot of people. So I don't, it's not like, because that's a thing too. A lot of people, Dave's not conservative, but conservatives do this a lot where they go like, this is what you should do. And if you don't do that, you're a piece of shit. You're like, all right, man. A lot of us fuck up a lot. So like, can you not just constantly, that's why it's like, you're never going to get, you're never going to get the ragtag crowd with the conservatives because they always like, they make it like you either do it this way. And if you didn't do it this way, you're like, it's like that was always their like fucking 2 cents on the fucking student loan conversation. Just no sympathy for fucking teenagers getting tricked into having a 6-figure loan. People are like, you got the loan, you pay for it. And you're like, yeah, no, I don't agree with the government forgiving people's loans just because it's gonna be like, yeah, it's gonna cause more inflation again. Because that's what they're doing. They're giving these companies money they don't have. So it's just they're gonna have to print up money. It's just gonna cause inflation. But like, I don't know, man. I have a lot of sympathy for people like that. I mean, I'm fucking one of them, dude. I think about it all the time. I'm like, dude, if my parents just were like, yo, dude, I was like undeclared for 2 years. If my sorry. I don't know if I drank any water today. Oh, but yeah, it's like if my parents were just like, because I was undeclared for like 2 years. If my parents were just like, yo, wait, like, how about just wait? How about you just get a job for a little bit and then see if you want to go, and then see if you want to go to college, It's like there's like you have the, you know what I mean? It's like they do the same. People do the same thing with like OnlyFans chicks because there is part of it where you're like, what do you think would happen? And you're like, well, these very like, I don't know. There's no, you know what it is? There's no sympathy for vulnerable people. Just, well, if you got scammed, you should have known better. Go fuck yourself. No. We should be better at protecting vulnerable people. And I'm not saying like there should be a government program. We should pass the Protect Vulnerable People Act. No, just as a society, like you should have sympathy even when they're being cunts, because that's what kids do. They're cunts. You should have sympathy for someone who got you should have sympathy for a teenager who got approved of a 6-figure loan. That's insanely fucking what's the fucking term? I mean, that's just bad business practice on the bank's part. You know what I mean? It's insanely fucking negligent behavior. Is to just give a teenager like, hi, I'm 17 years old. I want to go to college for feminist studies. And the bank goes, here's a 6-figure check. Like, you're a bad person if you give that kid a loan. You're a bad person. You know what I mean? But it's just, you should have known better. Oh, were you in the age group of the dumbest people in our society? It's not your fault, but you just are. Well, you should have known better. Go fuck yourself. I'm 35 and I'm still fucking retarded. You know what I mean? There's just no sympathy for vulnerable people anymore. It's fucking disgusting, man. But anyway, what was I talking about with the Somali shit? Oh yeah, the daycare. Yeah, no fault on anyone if they have to fucking, money's money. Money's money, but there should, I think the goal should be like, I would think the goal should be have a kid stay at home with the kid as much as humanly possible. That's where I agree with Dave on. I think Dave might be a little more critical of people than I am. But yeah, it's just I'm a bigger fuck up than he is, so I'm way more sympathetic to fuck ups. But yeah, man. What else to say about the Somali shit? I've been ignoring chat because I knew people were gonna spurg and it was gonna distract me, and I just needed to rant. Nah, man, it's just really like I don't know. It's like really upsetting. It's really demoralizing. I gotta keep it a buck. You know, I always try to keep hope and positivity because you just should. You know what I mean? Like if you just give up and you like I think it's important. It's why I always push back on Pat with his like nihilistic shit because I just go like, even if you believe that, you should still just like not give in. Like, because I think that's how you lose. That's how you lose at life. You know, if you just give into that shit. That's why I always I can tell he gets annoyed with me, but it's like I don't care. You're my friend and I love you dearly. Even if like, because that's the thing I realize too. Whenever he brings up the nihilistic shit, I go, I don't even like necessarily disagree. Like, you're probably right. Like, that's my thing. Like, you've heard me talk about with religion. Like, there's probably not a God in the way that the holy books say there's a God. But I mean, like, I don't know. There's probably aliens or there's probably interdimensional beings that like can observe us and then control the world. Like, there's something there. Like, I'm not so, but is the Bible 100% right? You know what I mean? Is the what is it? The Torah and then the Quran, are they like no, probably not. They're probably just stories that they told people to live your life properly. But like so like yeah, there is, you know, there's a huge chance we're just a fucking ant farm. You know what I mean? That like big alien scientists are viewing us and recording data. So like there's a high chance that there's no fucking point to any of this. There's a high chance, but it's just like, I don't know, man. You only get one of these, at least we assume, you know? And the only joy I personally find from this world is a sense that like I'm helping, if that makes any sense. It's like I'm helping, I'm making something better. Like, and that's why I always joke, like, whenever you guys hit us up and you're like, yo, my job sucks, but you make fucking time pass by. I go, well, I just put someone in a better mood. So, like, even if I'm talking about fucked up shit, if I came on stream, I talk for 1 to 2, 3 hours, and I put you in a better mood, you know, there's 11 people watching this. That, you know, I made the world 11. Like, if all 11 of you were happier that you did this, like watching the stream put you in a better mood, I just made the world 11 times better. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I know like as a comedian, that's like, that you're supposed to be like, that's gay, and you're supposed to be like, I don't care about shit. And I think I try to because I realize too, from a comedic standpoint, it's just funnier to have a more disconnected person. So it's like when I'm on, like if you watch me on here versus me on, because here I'm not trying to be funny. Panties, I'm trying to be funny. So you're kind of going to experience a much different Big Red on Panties. But I don't know, man. At the end, but like, yeah, I mean, Panties is me, but it's a little more, it's me focusing on being funny. You know what I mean? The same way these streams are me focusing on trying to understand shit, which is why I like, I like when Pat occasionally can't make it. Because I like doing them with Pat, but I also like doing them without, so I can have I have this time to myself to like work through ideas. But oh yeah, it was like, it's just, you know what it is? I just have I gotta work on it. I gotta balance it out because it's just this is a tough world to live in if you're trying to make it a better place. If you're just trying to like coast by and hang out till you die, it's actually like that's what they want you to do. You know what I mean? That's also too why I kind of go like, you know, I don't know if God and the devil are real, but there's definitely entities in this world that like control things that behave like God and the devil. So it's like, I say it with a lot of stuff. Like I talk about that. Oh, who's the conspiracy guy that always, I forget his name, but it's the conspiracy guy that always talks about the lizard people and shit. I always forget his name. I'm sure someone commented down below. I want to avoid the chat so I can stay focused. I apologize, guys. This is not a chat heavy reading day. I apologize. But yeah, there's that one dude who always talks about the lizard people, and if you take him literally, he sounds fucking insane. You know what I mean? But if you just take him, when he talks about reptilians and stuff, don't take him literally. Take him, figuratively or symbolically, and you go, I mean, there's a lot of people in government who don't act like human beings. You know what I mean? They don't view like the way that they treat other people. I go, you don't value human life the same as normal people do. And it's like, yeah, I see why people call you fucking call you guys fucking lizard people. You know what I mean? And it's the same way where it's like, there's forces in the world that I don't know if the devil's real, but if they talk about who the devil is and what he wants, there's forces in the world that are trying to manifest that and satisfy those urges. And there's forces in the world that are trying to satisfy God's urges and shit like that. So it's like, and brother, I got to tell you, like, I haven't really read the Bible, but I've definitely heard clips of like, I shout out, he's not always, he's kind of gay sometimes, but no, I like Tucker. He just gets a little too theatrical. It's like him and Candace. I like Tucker and Candace Owens. They just get they get a little too theatrical and dramatic for my taste, but they are doing great work and I do appreciate them. But no, it's like, I mean, every time I've heard Tucker talk about Christianity and what it's supposed to be and what the book means and stuff, I go, that sounds great. And honestly, if everyone behaved that way, that sounds great. So it's like, whether God's real or not, there's forces, there's like, okay, I'll put it this way. You just feel it every day. Whether it's a supernatural force or like internalized, like, and this kind of goes back to the original topic, is where people focus way too on like, no, but like, what specifically is it? Like, if atheist people always, like, people who are atheists, they always focus on the fact that it's like, oh, you think there's a guy in the sky? And it's like, stop taking it all so literally. Like, if you just stop taking it all so literally, like, I don't know if it's stuff I'm making up in my head or it's forces out there or it's just human biology, but like, we all experience this. You leave during the day and there's forces pulling you towards good and bad. And I've lived my life letting the bad forces pull me. I've tried to let the good and I gotta tell you, I feel better when I let the good forces pull me. And it's like, I don't know what's actually going on, but I just go like, I feel those bad forces and I just go like, yeah, I'm not going to live my life letting them win. And so that's why it's like, again, not to focus on, because it's not just Pat, it's other, it's like, but that's why it's like, even if he's like right about the nihilism shit, I'm almost just like, yeah, accept that, but let's move in a positive direction. Let's like that's why I hate bullshit, but I'm also, I still try to like move towards, I don't know if I'm a positive person, but I go like, no, you live your life moving towards positivity, moving towards good shit. And a lot of the shit, and it just so happens that a lot, like the shit that they say in the Christian Bible seems to be a lot of the good shit you should move towards. You know what I'm saying? I just wish there was a clear way to express this. Because it's like I was saying before, and that's just kind of how I've been guiding myself more lately. You know what I mean? A lot to think about. A lot of stuff to fucking think about. And I got off on a fucking tangent. Why did I bring that up? Why did I bring that shit up? You guys have probably been yapping. I'm so sorry, guys. Metzger has interesting takes on Luciferianism. It's given me a ton to think about. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Vals, you annoy me a lot, but I am fair, so I gotta give you oh yeah, David Icke. I knew one of you guys were gonna know who I was talking about. But yeah, it's not hard, hell is real, act accordingly. And like, yeah, man. You know what I mean? It's like you know what it is? I just wish there was a better way to talk about this. I wish there was a better way to talk about this where because here's the reality. There's a big push from my Andy's thing 161, probably a god, probably aliens, probably interdimensional beings, probably something out there. Well, that's not a new thing. That's been a thing for a while, but yes, you've kind of encapsulated it. That's crazy. In my hometown, 2 kids died at a daycare, separate occasions, and they are still open, and the people responsible are still free. It's turned the town upside. That's insane. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't want to get specific because I don't want to get I don't want to get too specific because I don't want to get people, I don't want this to be misconstrued as a call of action, but like this right here, this is kind of like a microcosm of like what's wrong with our country. Is like we live in a country where 2 kids can die at a daycare and like that daycare's still running, and like the local population can't handle that. And again, this isn't a call of action. I'm not saying violence or anything, but you know what? Like, you guys know what I mean. You know what I mean? Like, the police will stop you from handling that. And it's like, I'm not here for it. I want to make it very clear. I'm not saying like mob justice or anything like that. You know what I mean? But it's just like, and like literally, I'm not even saying it necessarily has to be violence. And legally, I'm very clearly not saying it should be violence. But like, it doesn't even necessarily have to be like violence. It's just the idea that like that can happen, and they're just like still operating, and you as the townsfolk can't handle that in a non-violent way. Or no, I'm kidding. It's so funny. But like, Andy needs to be careful with his words. He's telling Slav's villain arc story manifesto. 8 billion being the estimate. Somali. Yeah, I saw 8 billion. I heard him say 8 billion, but I haven't yet heard how they got to that number. So, I know for a fact that it was like $1 to $4 million for a lot of these preschools, and it's like a shitload of them. So I think they think that America is a sinking ship and all the politicians are just looting what's left and throwing the. I have a strong belief in that. Wait, Graber, is that BDBDD? Is that the book literally called Debt? Because I downloaded that. Oh yes, yeah, it is Debt: The First 5,000 Years. Yeah, I have that book. I got it on audiobook. I've been listening to it. I've been listening to it very slowly because it gets me mad. Andy, let's get the real story. Did you find the basement of the Alamo? I did. That's where I found Pee-wee's bike. And by the way, I posted a picture of my wife, and all you guys were very respectful, which I appreciate. Now, I get people acting very odd I'll post pictures of my wife, and dudes like do not know how to chill. Like, it's very funny because I know, like, I look like a mongoloid, and people see like I have a very. Oh wait, let's make that bigger. Like, I know how I look, and then people will see that I have a like thin, pretty wife, and it like I don't get mad because they come from a place of like being happy for me. They come from a place of like being happy for me. Wait, why? Who's Slav getting mad at? Gay ass libertarian. Andy is a true gay ass libertarian. Yeah, dude, I'm a libertarian, and I fucking hate that I am. I just, you know what it is? I'm not even like, here, Derek. Are you writing this down? Here's my thing. No, actually, that is another one I say is, you know what it is? But no, oh, for real though. It's like, so like, I don't want to not say I'm a libertarian because I don't want to sound like I'm embarrassed of it, but it's like, it's way less that I'm like, because I'm not like, what's the fucking phrasing I'm looking for? Like, I'm not, it's not so much that I am a libertarian, although I am, because I also, again, as I'm saying that, I don't want to sound like I'm like, no, I'm not one of them. But no, if we're like, this is how much I'm a libertarian, is I'm being very autistic and technical about this. But it's not even so much about being a libertarian. It's just going, libertarianism is a legal theory, and I just go, they're right about it. Like go read a Murray Rothbard book or listen to Ron Paul, and when it comes to the nature of rights and government and how money works, I mean, that's where we get into, because that's the thing. It's like, libertarianism is like a legal theory, and I just read it and I go, oh yeah, they're right about everything. And then when you go and you look what Austrian economists have to say about the economy, you go, oh yeah, it looks like they're right about everything. So it's not even so much about being a libertarian as it is like the libertarians are just right. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just, oh yeah, no, the libertarians and the Austrian economists are right. That's really what it is. But yes, I am a gay ass libertarian. I love you guys. It's a fun hang today. Are you guys talking about wrestling? I haven't been saying shit. I've actually been working, surprisingly. Well, stop working and fucking comment, Dunbar, you son of a bitch. But isn't like the best era of wrestling the one that happened when you are young? Is that why the culturally dominant religion seems to be the most morally correct? That's a really good question. No, you know what? You reminded me of a thought I wanted to say that I fucking got sidetracked from, because that's my job here. But no, I think, because a lot of people, like, this is what I was talking about Tucker Carlson earlier, and I like Tucker Carlson a lot. I think he's like really good for the general zeitgeist and conversations we have. But like, Tucker Carlson does this thing that a lot of conservatives do, where it's just like, he'll be like, everyone's demoralized and no one's going to church anymore. What's that about? And like, they just sit there and they go like, huh. It's the same thing like conservatives do to like black people in the inner cities. They're like, yeah, they're like, it's when conservatives will look at black people in inner cities in poor areas committing crimes or whatever, and they'll be like, they're just like that. And you're like, are we just gonna ignore history? Like, you just look at it and you go, they're just like that. You know what I mean? And it's just like, all the people of my generation who don't like religion, it's like, yeah, because we all grew up when you guys were being the gayest you possibly could. You know what I mean? Like, religion, like, everyone just always associated religion with, like, you guys did, religion did a bad job with their PR. And that's not our fucking fault. It's not like my generation's fault that we all, because like we all had parents who just made you do it. And you're like, why are we doing this? And they just said, shut up. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, no, like religion would help everyone if everyone was, if everyone just was like vaguely religious and prescribed to like that moral code, everything would be better. That's true. But like, can you get mad at all these people who are very anti-religion right now? No. Because religion dropped the ball. All these religious institutions dropped the fucking ball. Like, fuck off. Be glad Indians haven't seen. That's so fucking funny. The town protested the building it happened at and stuff, but it's like just burn the building to the ground. Talking about it on social media isn't going to get anything done. The two women already went through court and every. Yeah, it's just like you should. It's like, again, you don't even have to like be violent. It's just like, you know what it is? It's we're just so scared as a society of like getting in trouble. But like it's fair too, because the fucking, we've just learned that if you fuck up a little, the government will butt fuck you. You know what I mean? Oh, did you fuck up a little bit on your taxes? Well, you're going to be fucked. Oh, did you get caught with a plant that makes you relaxed? You're going to jail forever. You know what I mean? So like, I don't blame people, but also that like, it's just crazy, man. That's the problem. That's why I can't do this shit. I need a time to turn it off. I don't know how to turn it off. What do you guys do to turn it off? I need to figure out how to turn it off. But I don't want not off forever, because I like it. I like this shit. But like, even like there's even a point where you go, that's enough head, ma'am. You know what I'm saying? That's enough cookies. It's enough. I don't know about weed, Derek. Weed would definitely make it worse, but I think skateboarding videos is definitely a start. What am I turning off? Nothing. No. I'm talking about the politics and trying to understand the world and all that shit. Anyway, Davies, Fabulous, Mano. He's talking about rappers. Oh man, hell yeah. Well, I think we did the damn thing. Solid vent sesh. Yeah, nothing we'll just end it with like nothing personal to Somalians. Just, I mean, you can't, that's the other part of it too. You can't just, you know what it is? Because I just remembered one other thing I was mad about. And I get mad about this with like, a lot of people who come to our country. They come to our country. Well, it's like in the Somalian videos I was watching, it like the attitude was driving me crazy. The attitude was driving me insane. You know, like I get it. They're not just gonna flat out. They're not just gonna flat out go, "You were right. We stole all the money," because that's like they're gonna go to federal prison. But there is something on a human to human level of just like the attitude and the like. There's also something too of like you come to our country. What up, Far Wild? You come to our country, you steal a bunch of our money, and then people are mad at you, and then you're like condescending to us all. Like there's this one fucking dude. Shit, yeah, like this guy.
Have a moral compass. Like, do what you do correct. If you catch business.
What would you say to Nick Shirley, the YouTuber, if he was standing in front of you
I have
right
nothing
now?
against him himself, but I do have something against the rhetoric. It's if you're going to be a
Well, so also, okay, I don't have anything against him himself. The rhetoric, though. So he's talking about style. He's talking about the YouTuber's style. He's not denying anything the guy said. So when you expose a bunch of Somalians for scamming the federal government and stealing, millions, possibly billions of taxpayers' money, Americans' money, like, just don't be mean. You know what I mean? No, fuckface. You stole a bunch of money. Go fuck yourself. We're not gonna be nice about it.
journalist, just be.
And I mean, like, right in front of the Leering Center sign. Like, right, they didn't even fix the fucking sign or take it down.
Have a moral compass. Like, do what you do.
Yeah, have a moral compass when you're exposing all the federal money we stole. You have a moral compass.
Correctly. If you catch business that are fraud, no one here is with that, or like we don't support that as a community. I don't support that myself. I was born and raised here. I'm not for fraud. Like the notion.
No, you're right, Slav. I don't know why they all have the same head. It's weird.
That hey, a certain batch of somebody got caught, so all of them support it. It's like no one. If in any community, any mishaps that happen.
Yeah, dude, you're right. You're right. There's never foreign tight-knit communities that look out for each other and don't care about, like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, yeah. Why would a bunch of people that identify strongly with their home country, why would they also not give a fuck about scamming our government? Like, why would they care?
The rest of the community obviously doesn't want that to happen. It's a stain on all of our names, as you guys can see. We don't want that to happen. We don't take part in that. We don't like that. We don't want that in our communities. But just to say, hey, a certain company got caught, so they must all do it. And I feel like that's what he's doing. I'm not a fan of it.
2 to 10 p.m. may not be your typical daycare hours.
Yep.
That's also too, like, that's also a again, it's that like nitpicking that like stupid people do when they argue, where it's like, well, it's not all of us. Yeah, but like, you understand. Oh, he didn't just make a 40-minute video about like 2 daycares. And honestly, if he did about 2 daycares, it's also like fucking insane. You know what I mean? But also, yeah, he didn't make a 42-minute video about 2 daycares. So shut the fuck up, dumbass.
So can you explain why it is
The
that you operate during these
reason
hours?
for that is we're after school hours. So most of our clients, not most of our clients, all of our clients is after school hours. The school's earliest dismissal would be 2:15 to 2:30ish, and the latest dismissal would be up to like 4:30ish, 4:40ish. So that's when our kids come to us. We don't have anyone in the morning. We deal with only parents and clients that come to us after school. So that's why ours are 2 to 10 p.m. If we try to do, once again, I'd like to conclude, the YouTuber that was making the claims, you were here earlier today. I came here at 1 o'clock. You were here. Where are you now? You claim we're closed. You claim we're a fraud. Where are you? Why are you not here right now?
It's crazy too. The sign literally says Leering Center right behind him.
Like, you're trying to put out a certain message about a certain group. I'm not gonna make that.
It's also just where are you here now? Where are you here? Well, he fucking edited a video and already posted it. Yeah, it is ironic. Like I get to the impulse of like being like, ew, show us the kids. No, but also like I'll put it this way. It's like there's a very easy way to prove people wrong. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. Also too, there's a lot of teachers that film TikToks from their room. Like you technically don't even. I mean, I'm surprised no one. I'm not sitting here saying you have to do A, B, and C, but I'm I'm surprised. None of these daycares have posted a video of a bunch of dude. You can even blur their faces out or something. Because it is also too. It's I don't want them to just be putting a bunch of kids' faces on the internet like that. You know what I mean? But Slav getting spicy in there. But you know what I mean? It's okay, so this happened. Everyone's talking about it, and I mean, are there videos of daycare workers being like, "Hey, we're here." You know what I mean? We're here, and you can hear all these kids in the background. You know what I mean? Yeah, I gotta tell you guys, I don't know everything that's true and false in this, but you guys are not doing a good job. You guys are not doing a good job of making me not believe this YouTuber. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I don't know what the fucking solution is, but I had to get on here to fucking yell. It's just are we we're still doing this, man, with this fucking country. This fucking country. All the fucking time. It's just it's just a cookie jar to be fucking robbed. It's all it is, you know what I mean? It's just they go, bro, don't worry. We're protecting the cookies. And then someone's just stealing from the fucking cookie jar all the time. Anyway, I'm gonna go read about the French Revolution. All right, this was fun. I am all talked out. I'm a little exhausted. These are hard to do solo. But I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. I will be back tomorrow. Pat may be back or may not. Oh, I forgot to show you guys this. So you guys know I meant to show you guys this earlier, but you know how we play Munchkins every week? Well, I got some really good news. Wait, I gotta cue up my music. I got some really good news, dude. You know how we play Munchkins every week? Andy won. Andy won. Andy won. I won Munchkins last night, and we have a belt now. So I am the Munch King. I'm the king of the munches. Anyway. So yeah, that happened. Wife tried to make fun of it, and I go, this is actually the coolest thing I've ever owned. And then she stopped talking shit because she had to acknowledge it was the coolest shit ever. But anyway, yeah, dude, pretty big night last night. Congrats. God damn it. Fucking cooked my ass. Oh man. I will tell John Cena you guys said hi. God damn it, that was funny, Derek. All right, I love you boys. See you tomorrow. We'll Pat will be back probably, so we can't be racist. That liberal cuck. That liberal fucking cuck, Pat. All right. I love you guys. Have a good one. Pat's not a liberal cuck, but he is a gay guy. He is a cuck, just not a liberal cuck. Gay cuck Pat. But yes, tomorrow